3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
All right, welcome back to TTMTrades. We're going to jump right into it and try to keep this one short and simple to the point. Today we're going to be talking about ticker BIOA. Now, I don't think a lot of people is paying attention to this stock. The last time I paid attention to this one was when it was at 38, and then I called it on a run up. And I thought it was going to run higher, but it only ran to 48 cents, and then this trend began to fail, okay? As you can see here, we started getting the early signals of this overall trend failing and the momentum. As you can see here with the RSI, broke out to show that 48 price range, and then it fell below that 10-period moving average, showing that the bulls were losing the momentum. Then the bulls tried to regain momentum and get that break back above that 10-period moving average and failed. And then they tried again and then failed, okay, which matches. So this, you got two signals here. One here, the failure to break back above, then it fell through the 30-period moving average. Try to break back through again, and then you got another failure, and then all of a sudden this major gap down. So there was two warning signs prior to this actual gap down. Now, I'm not sure if that was on news or whatever the case may be, but you had this nasty gap down, and then it just continued to fall. So as you can see here, constantly falling, around that 4.5 cent area here, has some volume, and then again around 4.25, had some volume, nice little run up again, and then right around 4.5 cent, a little more volume. So that 4.5 cent give or take looks like a great support. Okay, now one thing to pay attention to, as I pointed out in one of my lesson videos on how to trade with stage analysis. If you have not seen that video, still getting over this cold, y'all, but if you have not seen that video, I'm gonna put the link up in one of these corners. You need to go watch that video. So what we are currently in, as you can see on this nasty gap down right here, we are in phase one. Okay, phase one is the accumulation phase. This is where smart money and experienced traders, professional traders, right, start making their entries, especially if they think they've identified a bottom. Okay, now how do you know that you're preparing to transition out of the accumulation phase into the breakout uptrend phase? Well, one thing is you get this drop down right here, and then you get some low volume accumulation, which you can see here. Now you begin to break out of phase one when you begin to see the volume pick back up, because then that reflects that there's buying interest in the stock at that price range, and buyers are coming in and accumulating shares. Even though it may hold in this price range, as you can see there are buyers coming in to buy shares. So as you can see here, large volume spike from the gap down, and then as it dwindles down into this 4 cent range, you can see the volume is dropping with it. Now all of a sudden, if you look at the volume makes a bowl shape. You can see the volume decreasing, flat, and now it's increasing, it's picking up. You see how it's going back up like this? So I tell everybody, volume precedes price. That's one of my other golden rules, okay? I always tell you, be able to identify your support and resistance levels before you make an entry to better protect your account. Old support, new resistance, old resistance, new support. And volume precedes price. Okay, if you pay attention to the volume, it will give you all the warning signs that people are coming in. Buyers who are bullish about this stock at that price range are coming in, and they're accumulating shares on the low. Okay, amateur traders won't see that because they don't. Amateur traders are looking for actual price action for it to move, gap up, get 50, 60 to 100% return. Right. More experienced traders are paying attention to the volume because that forewarns them that something is going on in the stock and somebody's buying shares. So if you look again, like we said, the volume is decreasing on the drop down, finally hit that 4 cent range. There was some slight accumulation. You get a volume spike here, and then you get another volume spike 3 days straight, and then it tops out again at this 6 cent range, and now it's beginning to pull back on a low volume. The volume is dropping as it pulls back. So the shares are being accumulated in this range. Now when you know you're about to break out of the phase one of the cycle, the accumulation phase, and go into an uptrend breakout phase, then you will start seeing shares get accumulated and volume spikes. And that's what you have going on right here. You have these volume spikes right here, volume decreasing, flat line, volume beginning to increase and pick up in this price range. So That's one thing I would pay attention to. The shares will definitely get accumulated in this 4 to 5.5 cent range. They're being bought up. The shares are being accumulated. Now, as the shares are being accumulated, what begins to happen is the major players or the major hands or experienced traders that are holding these shares, well, buying these shares in this range, they will hold these shares and they won't sell them in large amounts. Okay, they'll hold them, which then forces other buyers to come in behind them and accumulate at higher prices. Now, everybody's watching this stock. Once it breaks out due to other buyers coming in or traders coming in to accumulate at higher prices and they begin pushing this up, then it begins to hit everybody's radars. All the traders begin jumping on it, and then all the late bloomers come in, and then they begin to start pushing the stock up and following through. Okay, and then of course everybody that was sitting down here, of course, when it reaches that 5 to 12 cent range, then they sell for 100% profit. You get your pullback. New buyers come in, they buy in, create a new support where the profit taking is happening at around that 10 to 12 cent range. You get a couple of days of consolidation, and then you get another breakout. The pattern rinses and repeat every single time. Okay, so I would begin to watch ticker BIOA. All right, another thing to pay attention to is these 3 indicators I utilize right here. They all tell me different things. Okay, number one, the RSI tells me momentum, who's in control. All right, just like I pointed out, the RSI crossed below that 10-period moving average, got rejected, crossed below the 30-period moving average, got rejected. Then that told me that the bulls were losing the control of the stock and the momentum was shifting into the bear's hand, and then you get this nasty gap down. Now the RSI stayed below the 10-period moving average and kind of straddled it right here as the price action became oversold, but then you finally get a nice little breakout here, then it comes back down, finds support on the 10, and then it breaks out above the 30 period right here, and then it finds support on the 30 period. So now this is telling me in reverse that the bulls are beginning to take control. Mind you, the volume spikes you're seeing here, bulls are coming in and they're accumulating shares, and nobody's paying attention to this. Mind you, your RSI is also showing that momentum is shifting into the into the bulls' hands, the buyer's hands. Now, that's one. RSI tells me momentum. The on balance volume tells me the amount of shares being accumulated. Okay, so your on balance volume, all it is a running average of volume, meaning if the price action closes lower than the day prior to, then it takes the volume of that day and it subtracts it from this running line. Okay, if the price action closes higher than its previous day, then it takes the volume at the bottom and it adds it to this continuously running line. So then you get this line that reacts to the volume. So as you can see here, the volume, the close on each one of these candlesticks is lower than the next. This close is lower than that one. That close is lower than that one. This close is definitely lower than that one, and that's why you have this running line that drops. This little spike up right here was this high increase in volume, and the close being higher than this previous day close. That's why you get this spike up here, and then it continues. This close lower than that one, lower, lower, and the line continuously runs down to reflect the volume, the selling and the buying. Then the line, as you can see, the on balance begins to flatline right here. All right, when it flatlines and moves sideways, that means the volume is at a stalemate and the open and closes are at a stalemate on a day-to-day basis, showing that the price action is at a stalemate, as you see here. Now, as you can see down here, the volume is beginning to pick up. Your on balance volume is reflecting that, right? Because the closes are beginning to be higher than the previous day's close, and now your on balance volume is beginning to tick back up. And this is showing you that buyers are coming in and accumulating the shares. Now, the on balance volume has broke above its 10-period moving average, rejected by the 30-period moving average, and it's coming back down. So you may have another day of selling come tomorrow on light volume, and your on balance volume will close directly on top of that 10-period moving average, and you may get a bounce play. Once the on balance volume breaks above its 30-period moving average, then that shows that the volume, the amount of buying going into the stock, is above its 30-day moving average of the on balance volume, which is a very bullish sign that the shares are being accumulated by buyers. So you already have a volume beginning to reflect that buyers are entering. Then you already have momentum behind the volume. You can see the volume increasing down here, and you can see the price action kind of flatlining in that 4 to 5 cent range, showing you that buyers are coming in. One last thing is your sharing the trend meter. I may have pronounced that wrong, but same exact thing. Okay, in the red area, then this shows a very strong downtrend, right? Now, as you can see, it's beginning to trend up, right, to show you that there's some strength beginning to go into this stock. And then it's above its 10-period moving average, and it just broke above its 30-period moving average, and it's trending up into the yellow, which is that 20 to 60 range, which still signals a weak downtrend. But you can see the strength of the stock is beginning to pick up, and it's trending up slowly but surely. So keep an eye on ticker BIOA. If you were to try to make an entry, be mindful that the bottom is right here at 4 1/4, and current resistance is right here at that give or take 6 cents. So you're working on a range of, let's just say, 4 to 6 cent range. This is where the stock is ranging at. So the lower you can buy in into the lower 4 cent range, the better. All right. Even if you get in the lower 4 cent range and sell at the resistance at 6 cents, that's almost close to a 50% spread, right? And it's very risky. Okay, please do not buy close to the resistance at 6 cents. Try to buy as low as possible to the support and the low fours, right? So that way you get a better risk to reward play. And then once you break out of this range, then you're looking at, gap fills left and right. You got one right here that looks like 8 cent. And then you got one way up here, but I don't want you to focus on this price area right here. This will take time. Okay, let's focus on the bottom down here of working our way out of that 4 to 6 cent spread and trying to get a spread from low 4s to the 8 cent. Okay, but pay attention to this stock. Be mindful of its support at 4 1/4. I'm not even gonna touch bases on what these indicators tell me, but these top 3 are beginning to reflect that buyers are beginning to accumulate the shares. Okay, and it's at a price range that they like. Okay, they weren't too convinced up here in this price range, and the stock has gapped down, and now we're looking at the 4 cent range. So again, we're in that phase 1 accumulation stage. If you have no clue what I'm talking about, then you need to pause this video and go watch my how to trade with stage analysis, okay, and the cycles of a market phase. Okay, you need to go watch that video right now so you understand what I'm talking about. But right now we're in stage 1, the accumulation phase. This is where smart money and experienced traders begin to make their entries, and you could tell by the volume beginning to pick up. Same with you. I would be careful, try to get in the low 4s as best as possible, and then once you get that breakout, start looking to lock in some profits and trying to ride this trend up if it has enough momentum to push itself back up into these price ranges. But again, TTMTrades, stock twits. If you have a stock twits, come follow me, get my alerts on what I'm looking at. We also have a Discord chat room, private chat room. It's for free. Anybody can join it. Okay, a lot of experienced traders in here, a lot of new traders in here, all working together to make money, teaching one another, learning from one another. And then the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have learned anything today. All right, we are currently at, where are we at? We are currently at 986 subscribers. We are on our way to 1K, 14 more subscribers, and we are there. Remember, this is the video, 4 phases of a market cycle, trading with stage analysis. You need to watch this video if you had no clue what I was talking about when I said we are in phase 1. All right, TTM Trades. Till next time, I'm out.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.